Welcome back to MidEast In-Depth, part of Levant TV's Press Reviews. Today we will be looking at articles tackling the Israeli-Palestinian issue. As Israel was busy firing hundreds of rockets at Gaza Tuesday evening, much of the Arab world was wrapped up in the admittedly enthralling Germany-Brazil World Cup semi-final. But even then, there appears to be more individual concern for the unfolding catastrophe in the Palestinian enclave than there is among governments in the region. And the Daily Star editorial says while the Western reactions have been unfortunately predictable, the US has condemned rockets targeting Israel from Gaza despite the absence of a single Israeli injury. While dozens of Palestinian civilians, including women and children, have already been murdered, the response or lack thereof from Palestine's Arab neighbors has been disappointingly hypocritical. The article argues every Arab regime has based, to some extent, much of their own domestic policies on the supposedly centrality and urgency of the Palestinian issue, that Jerusalem was a city to be liberated for all of their sakes, that the Palestinian cause was one of they were all invested in, has been a rallying cry for decades now. It has been used and manipulated by leaders for their own ends. It has been used to justify extortionate military expenditure, often at the expense of social welfare and internal security policies across the region. No one can now claim ignorance of the situation on the ground. 24-hour news and social media has made that impossible, and ordinary people are growing increasingly irate about Israel's collective punishment across Palestine. And as long as regional governments fail to address the issue in a meaningful way, they are not only abandoning the Palestinian people, but they are telling their own citizens that they do not care about their priorities either. And David Pollock writes a piece in the Washington Institute also on Gaza and the reactions in the region. The writer says most striking aspect of ongoing Arab reactions to the latest Hamas-Israeli clashes is an act of omission. The Palestinian Authority and President Mahmoud Abbas are not calling for Hamas to stop firing rockets into Israeli cities. This contradicts Abbas's recent declarations that the new Palestinian Authority government and its Hamas backers would honor past Palestinian Authority commitments regarding non-violence against Israel. A new statement from Abbas's office claims that the Palestinians have the right to defend themselves by all legitimate means against Israeli escalation. Abbas is threatening to hold Israel before the International Criminal Court for the war crime or genocide of responding to Hamas rocket attacks. The Palestinian Authority messaging, moreover, makes no effort to distinguish between the Hamas political leadership, which signed the reconciliation agreement with the Palestinian Authority's ruling Fatah party, and the Hamas military wing. Overall, Arab official and media commentary has been relatively sparse, likely due at least in part to the worst bloodshed besetting other countries in the region, but coverage of Gaza may well increase over time, as it has in past episodes. Official statements from Egypt and Jordan have been somewhat more balanced. Jordan's Foreign Minister Nasser Jowdeh urged Israel to stop its escalation immediately, but also called for the restoration of complete calm and avoidance of targeting civilians, and even for the return of direct negotiations. David Pollock looks at the US statements where the State Department spokesperson strongly condemned the deliberate targeting of civilians by terrorist organizations in Gaza, adding that the United States certainly supports Israel's right to defend itself against these attacks, while both sides should de-escalate tensions on the ground, and that Abbas faces limitations on his influence in Gaza. In this urgent new situation, Pollock concludes Washington should unconditionally demand that Hamas stop shooting rockets into Israel and that the Palestinian Authority fulfill its long-standing commitment to precisely that position. That was it for today. For more updates, visit our website, levant.tv. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.